They had an optometrist back then. I did not see that one coming. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you know who I am. I am the two-time Nebocsid award-winning Nebocsid. And I just felt like doing something different today. I am here at Burnaby Village Museum. It's I think the final day of their summer season, so I thought, okay, last chance to do this video. So I just want to come in and look around and see what I can find here. You know, just do something different. Sorry, I got the dead rat on my microphone. So maybe at some point I'll show you this microphone so you can see why that little bit of fuzz was coming over there. And still is. But really close to the entrance, we actually have a bit of a creek here. So yeah, it's amazing how calming these things can be sometimes. You know, it's like we're obviously in a very stressful period of time, you know, with the whole pandemic. So hopefully we'll just try to find some peace, try to find something that is helpful to make things a bit that much easier for each of us. This flock of sheep was created to celebrate the lunar calendar's Year of the Sheep in 2015. Sheep symbolize love and happiness. People under this sign are said to be wise, kind-hearted, and have an eye for the fine arts. These sheep also serve as a reminder of Burnaby's once prominent farming culture. If it wasn't for COVID, this would be running, but the sanitizer would apparently ruin it. But yeah, they actually still do like short little bits outside, like I'm running just outside. So yeah, I'm just gonna give you a roundabout look. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the track area where, well, I guess the station area where, how they have it set up like they did way back when. Speaking of trains, here we got Old Curly. Where's Old Larry and Old Mo? The Old Curly locomotive was built in 1879 in San Francisco. When it arrived just outside of Yale, BC in 1881, Old Curly was the first logging locomotive in British Columbia. Old Curly helped with the construction of the Canadian Pacific Railway until it was completed in 1885. It was later used to log much of the timber in Surrey and various logging camps up the coast of BC until 1927. After many years of neglect, Curly was restored in the 1930s and exhibited at the Hastings Park, PNE. Old Curly was donated to the Burnaby Village Museum in 1973. Do you think that Old Curly implies the existence of New Curly? Hi-oh! This is why I'm single, folks. Gonna give you a bit of an outside look, folks. This is what it's actually set up like a village from the 1920s here, so. The Burnaby Post. I guess this is what the post office looked like back, way back when.
And I say, yes, I can make the horseshoe. But that's not the right question. The question isn't, can you make the horseshoe? The question is, can you put the horseshoe on the horse? And that I cannot do. That's a farrier. He's a specialist. So here I'm making a cobra. This will be the eye of the hook. And that the nail will go. Hold the hook into the wall. Okay, so there's our loop. Now we'll put it in the vise here. And we will twist it around, put a little decorative twist in it, purely for decorative purposes. There we go. So, there halfway there, we've got our loop, and we've got our twist. So the nail will go through there, nail it to the wall, and the hook's going to come out like that. So we're going to flip it around and heat up the other end. Make a little curl on the end so you don't tear your coat, and then bend the actual hook part. The blacksmiths, they would make hardware, tools, horseshoes, lots of things. Especially in the 19th century, they did a lot of work on the horse and buggy. Not just the horseshoe, but the whole package. They'd weld the axles on, they'd retemper the buggy springs and the suspension. They would, the wheels, wagon wheels, had this iron tires that would shake loose, and they'd have to cut them and shrink them and weld them back and tighten up the wheel again. So they did all the maintenance on the horse and buggy. And so they were at the crossroads, and stagecoaches, whenever they pull into a town, they'd stop in front of the blacksmith shops, and they'd have contracts with all the blacksmiths who would come out and, have water and food ready for the horses, and then check over everything, make sure there's no stones under the shoes, and make sure nothing's breaking. That's how they did it. Now, there's a little stagecoach stop in Scotland called Gretna Green. That became kind of famous. It was written up in private prejudice by Jane Austen, because it's the first stagecoach stop after you cross the border. Now here I'm going to make this point. And the reason that became relevant was in the 1700s, England changed the marriage law. Made it harder to get married. You had to announce it in advance. Of course, if you announce you're getting married in advance, it lets people object to the marriage, right? It's kind of like vacancies, up north, like that. But they stress that one qualification is you have to be able to accurately and quickly enter the information into the computer system and get it into the database. Right? So it's the same thing. If you're going to marry people, make sure you record it. Now, at Gretna Green, they have at least 2 chapels. And it's funny because blacksmiths on the web talking about this. You go into one, and they've got a great big apple. It looks just like this, with the big one. And on it, it's written, "This is the original blacksmith's marriage apple of Gretna Green." And then you go to the other chapel across town, right? And they got a great big apple, looks just like this. And on it, it says, "This is the original marriage apple." And what's funny is that at the time that this was happening in the 1700s, this pattern of apple was not in use. So they're both faking it. So here we've got our coupon. Now what you will do is, I still think it's a hat, right? You put the nail through the loop there, and you would nail it to the wall, and then you would hang your hat or whatever needs to be hung up. There you go. You want it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, thank you.
it's, I will point out that it was sanitized in the fire and I haven't touched it.
I also have a hook. The Burnaby Village Museum Church. Central Park Theater. Jesse Love Farmhouse. Jesse and Martha Love purchased 14 acres in Burnaby in 1893 and moved there with 7 children. They built this house on Cumberland Road and 14th Avenue and started a fruit ranch and market garden. The family grew to 11 children and many renovations altered the layout of the house over time. 3 generations of the Love family lived in this house until 1971. In 1988, the house was slated for demolition, but the Burnaby Historical Society relocated the house to the museum. Today, the farmhouse is restored to how the house would have looked in the 1920s. Okay, folks, I feel like I've gotten what I want out of this. So, we're heading out, but before I do, gonna take one more look at the brook here, not a creek, a brook, so I guess I should make that up. A Deer Lake Brook, so let's get one more view before I'm out of here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am the two-time Nebocsid award-winning Nebocsid. I hope you enjoyed this video, and that's about it. If you liked it, or even if you didn't, comment down below. If you feel like I could have been something better, by all means, feel free to give me like actual criticism, not like you think I'm ugly, fine, but it would do a lot more. It would do a lot more good if you actually said, "Hey, I don't like the lighting," or "Get a better mic," or things like that. That would be more helpful. So, but now that I'm done, that's it. Thank you for watching. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my other stuff, follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. And until then, folks, bye everybody.